Well, hello and happy Thursday. Here we are again, Thursday at for Audrey Live. Welcome everybody here back today for another beautiful sunny day. I mean, we have been so lucky this summer with gorgeous weather. We're actually heading camping this weekend with family right after the show. So I hope that the weather continues the way it's been. So, and I'm sure it is. I think I kind of looked at the forecast and come Sunday, we might get some rain here in Ontario. But other than that, it's been gorgeous. So hopefully you're having a great time where you are as well. And welcome again to Audrey Live for everybody across Canada, United States, and around the world. I hope you're having a great week and we'll enjoy today's show. We have a few things on tap for today. Today we have Alan Sedin. He's from Winnipeg, and he's taught for us in the past at one of our shows. I kind of always keep tidbits on him, look to see what he's doing because it's always so interesting. Anyway, he had a video on memory mapping that I thought was very interesting, so I wanted to share that with you today. Also, a business called Unique Stained Glass that is out in Didsbury, Alberta. Bill Anthony, he as well has been a faithful and fabulous supporter of our shows out west. And we'll be showing a little tidbit of information from him as well. And of course, our live guest today, the incredible, talented Nicole Wright from Calgary, Alberta. We're really happy to have her on the show, and she's just a wonderful artist and wonderful person. So looking forward to that. So let's get with it. Don't forget to comment, share, ask questions. I will be looking at the feed in between, and when Nicole is doing her demo. So if you have any questions at all, just ask and we'll try to answer your questions during the show. Otherwise, for sure, Nicole or myself will get back to you after the show. So, and if you can't see all of our shows, they're all on our YouTube channel, which is Pin It Canada. So go to YouTube and just type that in the top, and all of our past shows are on there, so you can see them then. And if you subscribe and hit the bell, you will get notification whenever Miss Corey, my daughter, puts them up there. So normally she has it up there by the weekend, and she will be home. I think we're down to 16 days now that she'll be home from Korea. So it'll be great to have her physically back in the office here, not just virtually. So that's really great. So I just want to make an announcement. We had a very, very difficult decision again this week to make in regards to our Art Waves West show. We were full gung-ho starting about 3 months ago. We were in contact with the hotel and the college and the town of Olds, and keeping posted on the Alberta government site, and we were ready to go. We had everything in place, all the precautions, and of course, 3 months ago things were moving, starting to move in the right direction. And I think we all thought that by the time September came around, kids would be going back to school and people would feel a little more positive, or wanting to be part of going out and seeing a show and things like that. So, and I think everybody was, but I think there was some fear and apprehension as well over the last couple of days, starting on Monday, Tuesday. We had, a lot of our teachers over the last week or so either call or email saying that they were not able to make it for one reason or another. And we certainly don't judge anybody for where they are in this process. That's one thing I've always said. Everybody has their own comfort level, and we're not to question that, so I just want to put that out there too. Some people were so excited about coming and, ready to come, but there was quite a few that weren't. So, and then of course we had quite a few students from the US coming up, and they're unable to make it across the border. And a lot of students that had registered that were kind of saying, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it or not. So we kind of felt that we needed to make a decision. If half of our teachers aren't there and half of the vendors aren't there, we really don't have a show. And, the more students that canceled. It just made the decision that we were going to postpone the show till next year. So we've sent out the announcement to all of our teachers, vendors, and students, and just kind of let them know too that, we support them, and hopefully they continue to support us, and that we will continue with the Artways West show next year. So that being said, we're going to do something special the day that we would have been out in Alberta, which is Thursday, September 17th, would have been the first day of classes and the trade show set up and that sort of thing. So during Audrey Live, we're gonna have a special 2-hour Audrey Live that day to celebrate Artways West, and all the teachers and vendors, or as many as possible, that we're going to be there, that they're going to share information with you, demonstrations, maybe things that they would have had in their booth, sales, so that you can still order. We can still kind of feel like we're part of that that whole process that we have been through, and we're there virtually, we're just not there physically. So make sure you join us, because that will be a special Audrey Live. Again, that will be on September 17th to celebrate the Artways West show. So stay tuned for more information. We'll post things probably in the next couple of weeks of what the schedule is, who will be part of the show, and some maybe specials and some maybe goodies that we have available for you as well. So also, we have next week, we're going to make an announcement about a couple of special designers that we have that have come up with some very unique designs for us to kind of, I don't know if you want to say celebrate, but just to commemorate perhaps our 2020 COVID year. So next week, there will be a little, I'm not going to give it away because I don't want to kind of spoil the surprise, so to speak. But next week, make sure you watch the show, because we're going to have a special announcement for you and a couple of surprise guests. So keep lookout for that for next week, Thursday on Audrey Live. I was wanting to show you the video from Alan Sedin. He's from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And like I mentioned, he is, has been part of our shows in the past, and just had this, it's called memory mapping. And I just thought that was very interesting. So wanted to share that with you. So let's see. And there we go.
Hello, I'm Al Sedin, and I'm so glad you're here with me. Hey, got to tell you a story. It's about, well, let me ask you a question first. Do you know somebody that has troubles memorizing, or somebody that's a student right now and is having a hard time memorizing things? I got to tell you something, and it shows a little bit into the world of cartooning and your imagination. You don't have to be an artist, okay, to draw or do cartoons. Here it is. Back in 1995, I was laid off to go to school full-time for 1 year, sales administration and marketing. I didn't know how to study, so I watched a video, and it was about mind mapping. I read the book as well. How does it work? You have a book. The book is broken down into chapters. Furthermore, it is broken down into paragraphs, and when you do the paragraphs, you break the paragraphs into various windows. Let me give you an example. You know the story when you're a little boy and girl, you know it from memory. Jack and Jill went up the hill to catch a pail of water. How does mind mapping work, and how do we apply it to that? Well, Jack and Jill, I'm going to put them down as stick people, sort of like lollipops. There we have Jack and Jill. They went what? They went up the hill to do what? To catch a pail of water. A catch could be a baseball glove. Okay, a baseball glove. To catch a pail of water. A pail of water is tipping over, and a whole bunch of water is gushing out. Now we add in colors. I've got pink for Jill. I've got blue for Jack. They're going up a hill. It is colored green. Doesn't have to look right now. It's just a concept that's important. To catch a baseball glove is usually brown. I'm going to use a different color for the pail of water. Water is what color? Blue, and water is gushing out. So there we have it. Jack and Jill went up the hill to catch a pail of water. I ask you to try this out, even for about 2 hours. You have to use colors, so you got color pencils. I use chalk, felt markers. This work is called mind mapping. Talking about learning how to draw cartoons, Zoom, I have a Zoom meeting Tuesday, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I love to see you on there. Send me a note if you're interested. And also, remember I said back in 1995, I was going to school. My goal was 80%. Watching this, at the end of that 1 year, I graduated totally across the board at 92%. So do you have problems with memory? You may want to try out this technique. It works. So you don't have to be a cartoonist. You do not have to be an artist, okay? This is so important. This works. I'm Al Sedin, www.alansedin.com, and check out my videos that I got specifically for the beginner in mind, and that's drawing portraits for the beginner. That's my niche market as an art instructor, is beginning artists, whatever the age. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you, and hey, love to hear from you in regards to your memory. It's so important. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Alan. Yeah, I think a lot of us probably have memory issues, but it's also a really neat technique for kids going back to school in September. So keep that in mind, that, you know, if there's just something that you have to remember or that kids have to remember, the mind mapping. It's quite a neat process. So interesting enough that Debbie Cole says, love your sign, find joy in the journey. Because that was, I finished my sign. I think I showed it to you a couple of weeks back that I was starting it. It's very simple, of course, but I wanted to do that because it's just something that always I have, it's been a quote that I have believed in and shared with my children, that you have to find joy in everything that you do. The question becomes, how do we balance being content and grateful where we are, being okay to want something more or greater? Sometimes we get so focused on the difficulty of the climb that we lose sight of being grateful for simply having to maintain or having a mountain to climb, I mean. So, I mean, sometimes it's always about the journey, not always about the destination. And that's, I mean, that's a common saying. So some ways to enjoy the journey. So show gratitude. Find something every single day that you're thankful for. So, I mean, I think a lot of people do this. They do like a gratitude journal or a grateful journal, or, but it can even just be, you don't have to write it down all the time, just something, you know, at the end of the day, say, this is what I'm grateful for. Just kind of that finds joy in your journey. Being committed, set goals and stick with them. I think that's something we can all learn from. Start a new hobby like baking or cooking. So, you know, something new that you can accomplish and try, especially at this point in time. Cherish your friends. I mean, that's an area that I have a great group of friends, you know, from business to my personal group of friends and family. And I think right now, you know, sometimes you're not able to get together. You know, you can do phone chats or Zoom chats, or writing a letter to somebody, or just sending them a card. You know, that's something that will show some joy as well in your journey as well as them. Balance your life, work, home, family. You know, don't try to be consumed with your work life. Make sure that you know, balance things out between family and friends. And make family first. Like for me, that's always been very important. And I know a lot of people, you know that of me, because as well, when situations come up and it's family matters, I'm always saying, you know, families first, that you have to always keep your family first and your close friends and be there for them. So, and take time to travel. That's kind of hard right now with COVID, but there's so many things around you to see. I know myself, whenever we go to, you know, traveling somewhere, I'll say, for instance, when we go to the Netherlands, or when Peter was living over in Wales, we would do little day trips all the time. We would, you know, and it might even be a town that's just like a half hour from where we're staying, or an hour. And it's just, you know, checking out the town, what the sights are. And I mean, it doesn't matter where you live, Canada, USA, the world, there is going to be towns very close, probably within an hour, that will have touristy things for you to do, or a shop, or just, you know, a really nice walkway, or the water. I know we talked about water last week and how relaxing the water is. So yeah, take the time to go out and see these things that you don't normally take the time to see. So make sure that you find joy in your journey, wherever you are in that journey. And of course, we have new journeys come up all the time in our life. So that's just a sign that so I thought that would be an important quote for me to have close by to look at, remind me as well. So anyway, our guest today is Nicole Wright. Nicole, she has been making a mess, she says, with paper, ink, and sticky things. She gets bored, so she is always looking for a challenge. Nicole loves sharing what she has learned and created. She has designed a line of mixed media paper, stamps, and stencils to incorporate into her art and classes that she teaches. I think she has to put, oh, there you go. Maybe put your volume down there. Yeah, she loves creating mixed media and all sorts of surfaces, whipping up a few decor, rustic goodies, and designing fun stuff you like to create. Hello, Nicole. Welcome.
Hi.
Glad to have you with us.
It's good to be here. I'm making a mess today.
Good. So how's your weather out there in Calgary, Alberta?
Well, it's always sunny. So
it's always sunny.
It's always sunny. Even when it's cold, it's sunny.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's beautiful here in Ontario again today. It's just, you know, one of those perfect summer days. It's like 24 degrees, a little bit of cloud, blue sky. Yeah, not too warm, so not humid. So I'm enjoying the day for what it is.
Oh, good.
Good. Anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into being creative and your creative business and that sort of thing.
Oh, well, I think I was born with pencil crayons and pencils in my hand. I've always been super artistic. And then when my daughter was born, she actually turns 24 tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
I decided to start scrapbooking because I thought it would be cheap to give my family members kind of a scrapbook of her first few months. And it turned into 22 scrapbooks every year for about 5 years with all three of my kids. So yeah, and then it just kind of evolved where art, I've always made that a priority for myself because I've been a stay-at-home mom. So I just always made art my priority. That was my me time. Yeah.
Good. And what type of art are you typically, like, what is it your go-to, or what type of different things are you working on?
Well, I've done everything. I'm pretty sure I've done everything. My big love, which I've grown to love, is mixed media. And there is the perfection is in the imperfection, which is something that I really enjoy. So I just scribble, splat, make a mess, and enjoy that process, and layer, which I love to layer. So yeah, I started scrapbooking and then card making. I do home decor, and mixed media is kind of I go back to it. So yeah.
Oh, good. Now you're part of the Wild Whisper group, and I noticed something, I think on Facebook the other day. It was called this Tin Bit Travels.
That is my new release coming out September 1st. And I don't have the stamps and stencils yet, but I do have the paper that I just got the other day.
Oh, and I just loved it because I'm an Airstream. We used to have an Argosy, and I don't know. Do you know what the Argosy is?
Yes, of course I do. I have an Airstream.
Oh, and I we sold it because it wasn't enough room for us and our kids. And now that it's really just my husband and I again, I so wish we had it back again. And I can't find one anywhere. Like, they're just, yeah.
Yeah,
it was the perfect trailer.
They do have online groups if you want to try and find them on Facebook. But yeah, we actually downsized. We've been camping forever. My husband was pretty much born in a motorhome, I swear. So we've always been campers, and we downsized because my kids don't come with us anymore into our Airstream. So this is my new collection, Tin Bit Travels.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. And with Wild Whisper, it's coming out September 1st, and they have a whole collection. They have their designs as well. And so what I do for them is I create a mixed media side, and then I also take my drawings so that people can actually add their product to it, so they can customize to whatever layout color wise they want to do. So yep, there's the mixed media side. So this was all done with my gel plate and deco art paints. And so if you don't have that equipment, or mixed media is not your thing, but you enjoy the mixed media look, this paper is meant for you, because A, you don't have to invest in all the product, and B, I do it all for you. So
I was gonna say, it's done for you. I like that.
Yeah. And then on the back, it's all black and white, and these are all drawings. So just try and get my light on there. So that's like a little fire pit. And it doesn't have to you don't have to be an RVer to enjoy this. Like, even if you're outdoorsy, or especially with COVID and we're all home and kind of doing the staycation thing, there's lots of paper for everybody. I mean, trees.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then somewhere on here, I have a mountain, because of course in Calgary, we have the Rocky Mountains right here. And then I have also little signs that you can cut out, because I know people like
I was going to say, just a question. So I noticed that you have those. So you would cut those out, but the other side has this beautiful. So what do you do? I wouldn't want to cut it out.
You buy the double pack that gives you 12. So a single pack gives you 6, so one of each, and a double pack gives you 2. And so
there we go.
This way, you can, and this is all done gel press, so mixture of textures. And to create these, I just have like lids and canning jar lids and corks, and make all the different designs. So and then there's like a little there's my tin bit.
Aww.
Yeah, and with Airstream, you can actually name your RV. So it's registered with Airstream as Tinbit. And if you're Canadian, you know why it's named Tinbit.
Yeah.
If you like Timbits, the donut holes. Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, if the people out there don't know what an argosy is, it basically is the Airstream trailer, but it was, I think 1 or 2 years they made them, and they painted them beige because some people didn't like the silver bullet look type thing. So they were only made, I don't know how many years, but not too many years that they made the Argosy brand of Airstream.
I think like during the 70s.
Yeah.
So the Airstream is my doodles, because I missed my Airstream while we were waiting for it to come in from a different province. And so I just sat there and sketched it out, and just decided, let's make it a stamp. So the stamps and stencils are on their way. So I do a combination of coordinating stamps and stencils for the paper line. And then I also, because I love mixed media, I also have a mixed media stamp and a mixed media stencil that then you can, like, I expect you to make a mess out of the paper. So the whole point is to use your product that you have.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Also, I think you're going to be in the next Creative Scrapbooker magazine. You have something in there coming up?
Yeah, I am one of the designers and writers for Creative Scrapbooker magazine.
Okay.
So I write for them every quarter, and they are Canada's largest paper craft magazine. But they also all over the world. They're all throughout the US at different locations. And so I write the Technique Tasters portion, one of the articles. So I'm always in the magazine. And before, when we could travel, I would travel with them and teach.
And they're from Alberta as well.
Yes. The two ladies, everybody who's in the magazine, we're all small business. We all work from home. We're all creative people. We all scrapbook. So that includes the owners of the magazine.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And just a shout out to them as well, because they're going to have a 2-day. They normally have their, I had it right. Carnival. What's it called?
The Great Canadian Carnival.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, am I saying that right?
They normally have their 2 shows as well in Calgary and Edmonton in September, because they always kind of bookmark our Artways West. And they're going to be having a virtual for 2 days. I believe, is it the 24th and 25th of September?
I think it's the 25th and 26th.
Yeah, whatever the
It's
Saturday and the Sunday.
Friday and Saturday.
Or Friday and
typically.
Saturday. There we go.
Gosh, I
Anyway,
should have looked at that.
we will, if anyone's on and you have the link, otherwise after the show, I'll make sure I put the link on there because I thought that was really.
Yeah. And they also have a Facebook group for people, and it's open to anybody all over the world to join. I'll be doing demos virtually. So I'll be going to one of the owners' homes and we'll be sitting there giggling and making a mess.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, that's great. So we look forward to watching that as well. So, gonna just say a shout out. We've got a bunch of people on: Denise and Judy and Darla and Bella, Kitty and Carolyn and Verda, Janice, Anna Marie, and so many others. Dolores, hello, Dolores from Mountain. Yeah, I'm gonna miss you at Olds too. Dolores is like, I'm gonna miss you. Debbie Cole, Betty, thank you for watching, everybody. So we're so glad that we have everybody here today with us. So what are you going to be demonstrating for us today? And I just noticed that the one light kind of beside you, it's really bright. So, but I don't know if you're going to be moving yourself. There. No, it's still there.
I have studio lights, so I'll be moving them all so that you can see. Because I'm in my basement. That's where my craft room is, and I have no windows.
Oh, yes.
Been relegated down here, but this is my special place, so I'm okay with that.
Good. So what are you showing us today?
I am going to play with my gel plate, my gel press gel plate. I have several of them. I actually accumulated a whole bunch of them for classes, and then COVID hit. So I had all these retreats I was supposed to be teaching at, and I have lots of beautiful brand new plates, but I'm going to use my favorite one, which is my 12 by 12 from Gel Press. And this is what I used to create the Timbic collection, and also what I am using to create my current collection, which is coming out in November. I haven't named it yet, but I'm going to recreate one of the pages so that you get an idea of what I do when I create. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's go.
Okay, I'm going to try and attach all this. So I'm going to be, if you get sick like me,
don't watch.
Don't watch. Okay.
Hi, Liz. Good afternoon, Liz. Hi, Linda.
All right. Now.
Okay, and I'm going to pin you so everybody can just watch the demo. And you're kind of sideways.
Just let me know if it's upside down. Is it going to be upside down? Yeah.
Well, it's not upside down. It's just sideways. So I don't know whether that matters or not.
Like, you want it this way?
Yes. There we go. Perfect. Now we can see it. Thank you.
Okay, good. I got to get it right. All right. Is that good?
You're perfect. Yep.
Is it? And let me know if it's upside down.
No, that's perfect. I'm going to mute myself so that they won't see me. They'll just see you.
Okay. I'm going to move.
Or your hands, I guess.
I'm going to move my lights around so that we can get a little bit more light. I have a little bit of delay on my my computer when I look over. So, all right. All right. So what I've done, I've got a 12 by 12 gel press. And if you're not familiar with gel press, it's these little jelly plates. And so this is one of my new ones. And I'll just show you. Who haven't even opened it. That's how they look. And then you just peel this back and then you have this gel. So this is great to do tons and tons of stuff. And I highly recommend you go check out Gel Press. They have so many videos and artists, and there's just so much background that you can do. So mine is well loved. I've already started it. So we're going to make like kind of a winter thing here. I'm going to take off my watch because my watch will get all into the paint, which I've already got it covered in paint. For this, I am using Chalky Gesso by Deco Art. This is my favorite gesso. It is matte and chalky and just so silky smooth. So that's going to be what I use. That takes a little longer to dry as opposed to an acrylic paint. So I'm just using masking tape. This is, like I said, a 12 by 12. And so the idea here is that I am making the trees. And so I don't have them perfectly straight because in the forest, nothing is perfectly anything, even though it's absolutely perfect the way it is. So this gives you an idea, and then this just peels right off. Give my gesso a shake. So gesso is not just for art journaling and having a base. You can actually use it to paint with. which I love to do. And I just pour some on. This is the great thing about mixed media. It is literally pouring and splatting, and then just paint it. And I have a huge selection of different paintbrushes. This one is Dina Wakley, which is a Ranger, but I use a lot of Dynasty brushes as well. But I think I still have them packed because I was supposed to go to these retreats. So you just want to cover it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. And then put your paintbrush aside. That one's a really nice thick one. And then we're just going to peel back. And we like the bleeding when it bleeds right here, because when you think of like a birch tree, they have these beautiful black imperfections in their bark, or perfect in their bark. And there's always this kind of black and silver throughout it. So when I'm teaching, I always like to do backgrounds for people. I actually don't have a lot of pattern paper, which is kind of ironic because I design pattern paper. And imperfections in their bark, or perfect. Oops. You just hit, hold on a second. And there's always this kind of black, there we go. I unmuted for a minute. Yeah, so I always have people make their own backgrounds because I really enjoy the process of it, but not everybody wants to do that. That's why I have a paper collection, and I do use pattern paper, just not a whole lot. All right, and then I have this little Dynasty brush, and it's got a bit of a blunt tip to it. And then I just take my cap and dip it. And then we're just gonna make the bark, those lines that you see. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add this. I'm not gonna worry about it. Just like that. So this is one of my sheets that I have designed for my new collection. Imagine trying to create a kind of a holiday theme using mixed media. Like, how do you even do that? It's brought me a lot of stress. But once I got going, I kind of banged it off in about 3 hours, 6 sheets. And just, you like, don't even have to think about it. And look at how it's already starting to form that look of bark. And the great thing about the gesso is it takes time to dry compared to like acrylic. And I use a lot of acrylic as well. The Deco Art happens to be my favorite. They're chalky gesso, but I also use Rangers. I like theirs as well. So you're just gonna go along and fill in the whole thing. This can be done on any size gel plate. This one I'm doing as if I was gonna do like what I'm doing with the 12 by 12 sheet for my new collection. And then I have 12 by 12 white cardstock, which is Creative Scrapbooker Magazine's. This is their super stock. So this is 130 pound, and this really takes the amount of abuse I put to it. So you just layer it on top. Nothing I ever do is straight or perfect, so I never worry about it. That's why I do mixed media. For this, you could use a brayer if you wanted to push it down, or just the back of your hands. I don't mind getting messy, and my daughter, she's gonna kill me because I keep getting my new manicure that she did all messy, but I like getting messy. So once you push it down, you just pull back, and there you have a background. The great thing about the gel plate is it's not all perfect on the edges. And I always keep with me another sheet. And just to have some fun. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna take some of my spray. This is Tim Holtz' new speckled egg. Just spray it right on there because you can make more. That's what's great about a gel plate. You can create several pulls from one design and just keep adding a little bit more color here and there. Look how pretty that is. Like, it didn't all pull. And because this is background paper, we're going to go one more time because I want to get all that paper covered and use all that gesso. And even those little speckles. So that even something like that, you can go and you can add stenciling colors, all that kind of stuff. So then we're going to just pull this aside and lay it down. And then I have
just quick, Liz had a question. Does that gel press wipe clean, or how do you clean it afterwards?
Well, if you're a scrapbooker, and I know my scrapbookers out there like everything perfect, if you look at my gel plate, I have all this kind of grunge on the edges. I love that. So it comes somewhat clean. I just use a baby wipe. You can also spray with a little bit of water. You can use soap and water, if like warm soap and water if you want. But I like that because I like the mixed media. And as you can see, this little grunge here starts to form. And when you build up all these layers of color, when you do a pull, it pulls away and often will leave little chunks of color. So I like that. But yeah, you can wash it with a little bit of soap and water. But I like the mess. All right, so I'm going to bring this back. And you saw how quick that was. This is why I do the mixed media and have the collections if you don't like it, because I get completely covered. So now I'm going to use the white. And I've already given it a bit of a shake. And so I just use a small, this is again a Dynasty brush, and just use a small. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make some branches. It's that easy. As you can see, they're not perfect, just like me, but they are perfect in their imperfection. And then you can also go along and highlight some of this if you want to, just to give it a little bit more of that authentic look. You could also use for this like silver paint or spray paint, like the spritz pinks, where you can just spray a little bit on your craft mat and dip your paint into that. I also yesterday used my chalky gesso with some spray and tinted it. So you can also tint your gesso. So if you're wanting to coordinate anything, that's a good way to do it. But don't be afraid, use your product. Because when I'm teaching, I always have people say, oh, I bought this, but I haven't even taken it out of the package. So that's kind of the point, is introducing mixed media into scrapbooking or card making and getting people to actually use what they have. It's kind of shocking, I know. All right, so you get the idea of that. And then what I'm going to do, I have this, this is a Tim Holtz Distress Splatter brush. So it's hard plastic. I'm just going to take it. This is why mixed media is really messy and I love it. So I'm dipping it in and then just splatting. Just like that. And it gives this look of it's snowing. And one more thing. And you can see how quickly this is. This took no time at all. I'm just going to take some of this speckled egg, which I think is my favorite distress color. I have them all. And just spritz it a bit. And that is a look on how you use gel press to make a background. And this is kind of what it looks like for my new collection, one of my sheets. So I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of that. So there you go.
That's very cool. Now, somebody asked earlier, you were using like a Tim Holtz, you sprayed it just to kind of bring the color out again or something when you went to go do, what was that product?
Oh, so this is his new distress color, the speckled egg. This is an oxide spray, and I just sprayed it right over top. That's my second pull, just to show that, yes, I've done the first pull, but then the second pull, add a little bit of color just to get that variant. So there's the speckled egg right there. So don't be afraid to, once you've done a pull and then you want to have the second one, have a different color and spray something on, or more paint, or stencil paint on, spray, whatever. That's the great thing about the gel plates, is that they allow you to do that.
And then also you had one of the Dynasty brushes that you were using. What is the name on the brushes?
This to do the lines for the bark, this is a Mezzaluna medium by Dynasty brush, and then the small one is a pointed flat micron brush. Dynasty has sent me several brushes. I have like a box full of them, and so I just rummage around and find something that might work. So this one was nice and small to do some of the detailing, and then this one's a little bit flat so that you could just kind of drag that bark look. So those are the ones. And then usually I have a big palette brush that I use. It's there's as well, but like I said, I think it's packed somewhere for one of my classes I was supposed to do.
Good.
Yeah.
Karen asked if there's any way you can show that splatter technique again with the splatter brush.
Sure.
It says your fingers were in the way. Is there any way you can bring it closer to the camera?
I know you got to have your fingers, unfortunately. So I'll try and show you. So the whole point is to hold the base of it and use your fingers to pull. And then I'm going to try and do it like this. And it just splats. You can also use a toothbrush. The problem, and I've used the toothbrush for many years until this tool was brought out. The problem with the toothbrush is the bristles are very small. So I just pull like that. And one dab and it just keeps spraying. Just like that. And you can use any color you want, but I hope that helps. I hope that's a little bit easier to see. Just like that.
You can see it. That was great. You can see it much better that way.
Yeah, I've had this one for years. It's an essential tool when you want to, just like anything, when you want to do something specific, you got to have the right tool for the job. So to make that kind of snow fallen look, that's how you achieve that look with this tool. Yeah.
Perfect. And what was that brush called again?
This is, well, it's a Distress with Tim Holtz. I want to call it the splatter brush. I don't know. I bought it like 6 or 7 years ago when it first came out. I want to call it the splatter brush. So I think if you type that into Google, you'll find it. These can be found everywhere, especially at your local craft stores. So
perfect.
Yeah. And then what's great about this with the gel press is this could be a background for layout, or you can cut this up. You can use circle dies to cut it out to kind of highlight some of this. You can also cut out backgrounds for tags, cards. Yeah, there's pretty much anything you can do. It just because it's a sheet of paper doesn't mean you don't have to like hatch it all up and die cut it.
Great. Now, were you going to show us something else, or was that?
Well, that's it for a demo.
Oh,
that's
perfect.
all I had for a demo.
Yeah. Well, maybe you had said that some of the tags that you sometimes work on. Do you have any samples there?
Oops. Yeah, I have a couple of tags that I pulled out. I have a lot of tags and a lot of the journaling pages as well. But this is using my current collection with Wild Whisper Fanciful Florals. And this is just using trying to think, the paste. Do you have time? Do you want me to make a quick one?
Well, actually, we only have about 2 or 3 more minutes, so I didn't know whether you just wanted to show a couple samples or.
Yeah, no, that works. So this is using the Fanciful Florals, which I'll just grab for you quickly. This is this collection, which is out right now. The 12 by 12, I think, is out of stock because it's been quite popular. But again, my doodles and drawings and my tattoo, which is kind of, that's where some of these came from. So this is using the stamp, which I do have in a pile. This is using my Fanciful Blossom. This is one of the drawings in the collection, and then also the circlet, which this one's been really popular. This one keeps selling out. I have my splotch stamp, which I use coffee rings to actually make this, and then my blossom, which coordinates with the stamp itself. So that's using this flower and just stamping it out and using texture paste and sprays and just spraying it and stamping with all these little accessories built to layer. So that's using something that's meant for card making and scrapbooking, but then taking it a step further and making it into actual mixed media. So I don't fussy cut, but I fussy cut this out, which is this flower here. And this one actually layers with this big corner one. So when we design it, we also think about the
All of a
user.
sudden, we've lost you, Nicole. All we see is your NWD
Oh
logo.
no.
Yes.
Oh, that's because I have somebody calling me.
Oh, oh, there we go.
Am I here? Yeah, my
You
son
are.
called me.
Maybe I'll unpin you if you want to come back on. But before you do, Ruth wanted to see if you can hold the tag a little bit closer to the camera so they can get a good close up. Oh, very nice.
So there's one of them. There's the fanciful, the fanciful blossom, which is the stencil. And then these are the bloom stamps all incorporated there. And the same thing, just using that with texture paste all here, the fanciful blossom, and then stamping all on the edges. So taking something that's meant for card making, scrapbooking, and making it still mixed media. It doesn't have to just be for that. It can be anything you want it to be.
Perfect. That's awesome. Now, where can people purchase some of these things? Do you have a website? Maybe we can bring your face back on, then they can see you. And
okay, I gotta move the camera again. Hold on.
If you get dizzy, turn away.
I know. I just gotta flip it back. I gotta touch it. There we go. Hi.
There we go. Hello. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Everybody really enjoyed a lot of comments about the rubber stamps and the jelly plate demo. So do you have a website or how can they purchase some of these items?
Well, through me. Well, personally, if you happen to be friends with me on Facebook or you follow me on Instagram, I'm always posting the stuff. I have links through my website, which is NicoleWrightDesigns.com. I'm also have a Facebook page, the same name, and Instagram across my whole board, but wildwhisper.com. So they ship worldwide, and they also have under there their retailers to see if there's any retailers in your area, because of course we want to always support our local scrapbook stores as well. And so, yeah, and if you like this stuff and you don't have it at your local scrapbook store, take it in, ask them to start bringing this stuff in if that's something you want to use, because we're all small businesses. I'm a small business, they are, and we got to support each other. So yeah, wildwhisper.com to see this collection, my other collections, and collections still come if I still do a good job.
Perfect. And we'll make sure that we put that link. I have a fly. All of a sudden, can you see it?
No.
Oh my goodness. All of a sudden he's just right around me here. Anyway, we'll make sure that we put that on there as well. The link to their website.
That'd be great.
And and anything else? Are you still doing any online classes or that sort of thing that people might be interested in?
Yeah, I do have an online class called Art. It's with Artful Academy. It's worldwide. They do all the currency conversions. So I do have a class right now with them, and it's all doing this stuff that I just showed you with mixed media, and painting and my stamps. And so that's a big journal class that you can go check out. And I do through Paradise. My mind is Googled now. Anyways, Paper and Ink Boutique here in Calgary. I do a lot of online classes there as well, especially during COVID.
Perfect. Well, again, we'll make sure that we put the links there. And Karen was wondering, what do you do with all your finished tags and your finished pieces? Do you actually use them, or you just have?
Oh, so what I do is let me show you quickly. I hang a bunch up. Yeah, my craft room is full of all my stuff my favorites that I keep up that I use for inspiration, but often I'll tear them down and use the pieces that I want to use. And then I will do things like something like this and tear it up and incorporate it into a journal somewhere. You can write on the back of this stuff. You can fold it. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff you can do. Attach it to a wine bottle as a gift, a present. Yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. It's been wonderful to have you on the show, and thank you for showing us. And we look forward to seeing you in the Crafters or Scrapbooking magazine, and I'm sure many other places as well. So
yeah, I'm everywhere.
thank you so much, Nicole. You have a great day.
Thank you. Bye, everybody, and stay crafty.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was wonderful. Just I've gotten to know Nicole a bit over the last few years. Again, being part of the Association for Creative Industries, AFCI, and just so nice to have her on the show. And we've had her out at our Artways West show as well before. So very unique. I just love her artwork and just the free and easy way that she just puts things on and it turns out beautiful. How you can make your own backgrounds and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to share with you quickly, Bill Anthony, I had mentioned to you that he was from Unique Stained Glass, and that is in Didsbury, Alberta, which is very close to Olds, kind of in between Olds and Calgary. So he has a very unique shop out there. So I just wanted to share with you a quick little video of his so that you can see what he does out there. Enjoy.
I'm Bill Anthony, and this is Unique Stained Glass Works. It's a very interesting medium. It's a two-dimensional material, and I really think it's important that stained glass artists take this two-dimensional material and make it into 3 dimensions. So many of my pieces, like the robin and the hummingbird, are constructed 3-dimensionally. Otherwise, the landscapes I do and other pieces, I try and use the glass in such a way that it accentuates a 3rd dimension and making it a little more interesting and more exciting. My mother told me a long time. She said there's only 2 ways to be successful as an artist. Number 1, you are the best at whatever it is that you do, like a Picasso or a Rembrandt. Or you can do something that no one else is doing, and you automatically become the best at it. And there is where my recycling work takes me, is no one else is doing that. And I find great success for trying to develop and create new ideas and new pieces. Years ago, I was asked by a customer, do you consider yourself an artist or a crafter? And that question boggled me because I didn't know. So through the years, I've been able to develop a bit of a philosophy here. Somewhere, someone once said, someone much smarter than me, said that an artisan is anyone who works in the arts. Whether they're a writer or a poet or a dancer or a singer, or they paint the backgrounds of a play or hang the lights, they're all artisans because they're all working in an artist type community. However, we can narrow it down into people who work with their hands are craftsmen. People who work with their hands and their heads are crafters. And those who work with their hands, their head, and their heart are artists. If you are working with your heart, and each and every day when I come to the studio, I look to my heart to decide what I'm going to do and how I'm going to proceed in this particular art form.
I love it. I love it.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I love it.
You to join me at Art Market at the Telecenter, and join me and my panda and stop by and say hello.
Excellent. Give me a pat. You got it.
He's a wonderful person. I'm really going to miss Bill this year at Artways West. He always teaches for us there and just has a really unique studio. And I have my own little piece here from Bill that I purchased that I just thought it was so neat, the work that he does. So yeah, so if you have a chance, take a look at their website. He does a lot of custom work, and you can order things from him as well. So that just a wonderful personality. Just wanted to share that with you. His video about his shop there in Didsbury, Alberta. Next week on Audrey Live, we have a wonderful person, Kathy Hansen. Many of you know Kathy. She's from Michigan, and she does a little bit of everything, I think. But she's going to do some demonstrating with a water-soluble graphite pencil, as well watercolor pencil. She has some seashells design that she's going to show us. So that's going to be neat to have that next week. Also, don't forget, we're going to have we have a couple of special guests next week, special surprise guests and announcement. And so you don't want to miss next week's show. We're really looking forward to it. So yeah, that'll be next week, Thursday, 1 Eastern on Audrey Live. So make sure that you have a great week and a great weekend. And I'm off now on vacation. So I'll be gone for the weekend with our family camping. So just make sure you take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a great week. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on Audrey Live.